Hi, everybody. It's Megan Enriquez here, founder and CEO of True Conversations. Finally, after over a year of people telling me that I needed to come up with some way, something to be able to start sharing on videos with you on a more regular basis so that you get a look into not just my life, but the experiences I'm having because of True Conversations and the people I'm meeting that goes beyond just the podcast that you can hear every week on iTunes and SoundCloud. I've been hearing this idea for, like I said, over a year, and finally I feel as though I'm ready to spend time with you each week just for maybe 10 or 20 minutes on a quick video on YouTube so that you can see what is going on in this life of True Conversations and my life as well, so that you get to know me as a person and get to hear more about what experiences I had leading up to the creation of True Conversations and how their experiences together right now are continuing to shape and change my life, as well as the lives of all of the people around who are supporting this vision and this movement where we want to spread understanding. I have believed since I was an infant, and you'll get to hear more throughout this series, this video series, what I mean by that, that as an infant, I believed that every human being deserves understanding. There are some really interesting and unique aspects to how I ended up where I am right now. And so this video series over the next about 17 weeks is going to be sharing really what I'm currently going through in terms of trying to identify what is my story. Because I don't know about you, but I have had this idea in my head for my entire life that someday I will share my story, right? And as life goes on in childhood and adolescence and adulthood and now parenthood and businesshood, we see these key moments in our story that change our path and that transform us. And if you are like me, you could look back and probably see there are 20 or 30 or 40 moments that you would want to share with someone as part of your story because all of them impacted you so greatly. Well, that's where I am right now. I have about 40 or 50 awesome, amazing, painful, transformative moments. But my challenge to myself and the journey I'm going to take you on with me is to figure out what is my story in about 10 to 20 minutes of talking. So why am I doing this for the next 17 weeks? Well, because I have had a chance to be able to volunteer and help one of my idol platforms for sharing information and good ideas, which is, of course, the TED Talk family, working with an independent branch of TED Talk, TEDx Mid-Atlantic. We got in touch a few weeks ago so that we could partner in some way, at least on some back-end support that we can offer to them. And that got me going and thinking really more seriously about what would my TED Talk look like when the day comes that I can actually have one clear message to share when I know how to share it. What is my story? And there are so many other things that I want to create where it's going to be important to understand what is my story and how do I share it so that it makes sense and it connects with you and actually empowers and changes and helps you. So that is what the next 17 weeks is going to be like. And I have a really special, surprising treat for you. I am recording this right now on July 3rd. Because I hadn't known that life was going to just launch me and give me a really very personal, very emotional story to start off with. A few days ago, and you're going to get to see this, I'm going to publish 2 videos right away. And, you know, this is actually, I've worked for a couple years on being more vulnerable, being more invested in how am I helping you by being myself. So these are two videos that, you know, if I had gone to probably any other consultant or strategist, they'd be like, Megan, don't start your video series with these two videos. That is so heavy and so ridiculously personal. You're going to scare people off. Well, you know what? I don't think there are any coincidences. I trust that everything is happening exactly at the right time that it's supposed to. And so a few days ago, I was hit with a huge, one of the biggest life events for me. And it will help you understand what I mean by ever since I was an infant, I have believed that every human being deserves understanding. Because here's the thing, ever since I was an infant, I was required to be able to see other people's perspectives in order to love them. I was placed for adoption when I was an infant. And so from the get-go, I had to conceptualize what that meant. Who was my birth mother? Was she a good person or a bad person? Who am I? Am I a good child or a bad child? Because the other thing that I hadn't found out until 31 years later, but I know now, is that I'm actually the product of infidelity. I'm the product of a married person having an affair with a non-married person. And so there's a lot throughout my life where being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand where they're coming from has been just a strategy for me to be able to navigate my world happily and peacefully, as much as possible at least, and lovingly. So as I go through the next 17 weeks with you all and try to figure out what pieces of my story are important, what pieces of my story all link together to make sense and create a flow of what a story should be, these are some of the things you're going to find out about me. They're not all going to be dark and dreary. You're actually going to see in the next two videos, if you take time to watch them, that they all have light beneath them. That's something that I remain an eternal optimist. I always am questioning to understand what is happening and why it is happening for me. What is the gift that is supposed to be giving to me so that I can go out and do the work I'm supposed to do. So please, leave your comments, share your stories if you have anything that I end up mentioning over the next few weeks that connects with you and makes you decide to be brave, be bold, and just share whatever it is you feel like, or leave your reflections. This is really not a series intended to please everybody. It's not a series to, make something popular that's not supposed to be popular. It's really just an exercise for true conversations for me and my journey as an entrepreneur, and that hopefully will be an example for other people that you can embrace your imperfections, you can embrace the need to grow, the need to evolve, the need to understand what has happened and how that is giving you a tool to be able to reach and change other people's lives. So I have no idea really where this journey is going to go, because I'm going to be doing this real time. Like each week, I'm going to be sharing whatever's happening really in my life. So I just, again, trust in the process and can't wait to have it lead up to TEDx Mid-Atlantic, which is going to be happening in October, the end of October. And so between now and then, let's find out, what is my story? And in the process, maybe you'll find out a little bit more about what is yours. So you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at True Conversations LLC to get updates, or you can hop onto our website, and each Monday, almost every Monday, you'll receive a True Insider e-newsletter in your inbox, which will not just have this and my story, but also stories of other people. You'll get to hear the wisdom from politicians and nurses and immigrants and people living with mental illness and people who have just spiritual awakenings from all walks of life. So lighten your inbox, start your week with something positive and meaningful that helps you become a better you, that helps you become truer to who you are. And so with that, you can log onto our website, true-conversations.com, and click the top banner to become a True Insider and get that newsletter for free. So I look forward to spending the next 17 weeks with all of you, and look forward to getting to hear your stories as I try to discover mine.